Today I'm speaking with Dr. Erkeda DeRouen. She's a triple board certified physician specializing in family, lifestyle, and diversity medicine. And her work helps to promote patients living their best lifestyle that they were intended to live by advocating for wellness and healthcare equity. So thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. DeRouen. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it is a true honor because we first met on her podcast, right? The Prospective Doctor. And I would love to highlight the incredible things that you're doing and your reach and everything you're doing online. So, if we could, I'd love to jump into what your practice means to you and how you are focusing on that wellness approach to health.
Yes. So I have a lot of different interests. So I am doing podcasting and doing professional speaking, and then also working in the tech realm of healthcare. And I just feel as though we spend so much time on focusing on how to treat diseases and all of those things that we should be doing, but not enough time on prevention and figuring out how to just live your best life. So I definitely love to focus on helping people figure out aspects of lifestyle medicine. I am definitely a proponent of promoting diversity and all of those different things because it's what makes each of us special and unique. And when we all come together, we can all have great experiences. So I spend a lot of time talking about like diet and exercise and all of those things that, to be honest, isn't so fun, especially for me because I love like cupcakes and things like that. But you gotta
Who
balance it with
doesn't?
Peloton. So it's a balance, but I love just talking about that and getting other people's perspective and just starting and sparking engaging conversations.
Well, you kind of already answered this, but I wanted to jump into a little bit more of an explanation about your three board certifications. Can you delve into more detail about what lifestyle and diversity medicine means?
Sure. So, lifestyle medicine is definitely an emerging field. There are a lot of doctors coming from all different specialties who are coming together to figure out how they can incorporate these things that make people feel well. There are pillars of physical health, mental health, emotional wellness, and all of those things, and how they come together, as well as like implementing more of a whole plant-based diet because a lot of diseases are kind of sparked or even progressing because of inflammation in the body and things like that. And there's a lot of evidence that we don't necessarily learn a lot about in med school and residency. So just figuring out how you can couple some of those things with all of the traditional things that we learn in our osteopathic and allopathic medical schools and kind of figuring out ways to help people move forward and just live healthier lives. It's a newer board certification that's out through the American Board of Public Health. And I found it very interesting because throughout my career, I have worked in different realms, but a lot of it has been underserved care and in underserved medicine. I worked at Federally Qualified Health Center for a few years before. And there are so many things so many factors that are affecting people who are uninsured or undocumented or who are in the LGBTQ plus spectrum and things like that, and different ethnicities and stuff. And there, everyone is a human being, and everyone should be treated with respect and all of the different ways that we come and treat people medically. But it's also great to be culturally competent and learn what and how you can interact with people to make them feel comfortable as well as respect their values and their lifestyle.
Well, and that's what I love about you is you are using that holistic and that whole person approach from a variety of backgrounds and really reaching out to everybody. On top of that, I was really interested to hear that you co-authored an anthology series highlighting women in medicine. And then you also have a book chapter about to come out on navigating telemedicine. Is that correct?
Yes. So last year, I co authored my first book called Women in Medicine and Medicine Women. And it was a very amazing experience. There were women from all over the world, people from Australia, from South Africa. And we met together like for a few months and we talked about our experiences as women in medicine, not only in the US health system, but other health systems. And one of the overarching themes was that there was a lot of commonality amongst us of of course, with like the microaggressions and all of those things, and then the way that we live as women when we're trying to balance life and family and all of those things. So it was a really amazing experience. So we came together and we wrote this book, and each chapter is kind of like a story or a letter to a young woman who may be interested in medicine, and it talks about your experience in one of your particular points of life. So mine kind of talked about my experience when I was a medical school student and I was trying to figure out my path and my place, and what kind of helped me kind of find my voice. So it's for those girls out there who want to just find out their voice and figure out how to use it and let their light shine. So it was such an amazing experience. And a lot of the other ladies in the book also have some really wonderful stories.
And the
And
stories of diversity and celebrating uniqueness, but then the fact that you also unified, came together and served one voice to help so many other people. I think that's testament to your platform. So I'd love to talk about the Prospective Doctor and how you are using your voice and all of your experience to reach an upcoming generation of future medical professionals.
yes, I am definitely a huge fan of mentorship. I don't feel like I would be where I am today if I didn't have what I like to call, and the listeners who may listen to the Perspective Doctor are probably tired of hearing about this, but my personal board of directors, where you have people who you go to for certain things and you don't go to everybody for everything. But it's really good to have those different voices coming and sharing their experiences so that you don't necessarily have to fall into the pitfalls that they fell into, and you learn from these experiences. So about a year ago, I gained the opportunity to inherit a podcast that had already been out there called The Prospective Doctor, where they focused a lot on talking about career pathways and admissions processes for medical students. And it was a really great podcast, hosted by Dr. Renee Martinelli. And when I took it over, I wanted to just see how I can make it a little different. So I, of course, wanted to keep the core process of talking to medical students about, in pre-meds, about the process of matriculating into med school and getting through and getting to residency and those things, and highlighting different careers in medicine because there are so many specialties and reasons why people go into those specialties, but also incorporating those hot topics in medicine that we don't talk enough about. Like, we should be talking about women's health. We should be talking about all of the things that are going on in Congress. We should be talking about racism in medicine and how we can just keep moving forward and making each generation better, and a generation of future doctors who are ready to kind of give and contribute to this field on their own. So it's super exciting.
Everything you're doing is exciting. I'm delighted that we connected and crossed paths because I have yet to be let down by the beautiful work that you're doing. I mean, genuinely, you are doing something transformative and something that I think has been needed for such a long time everywhere, but particularly in our field of medicine. And I'm just so appreciative of everything you're doing. So, Dr. Erkeda, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure to talk to you as well. I just love what you're doing too and how this platform is growing so much.